Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Hello and welcome. I have a story the Buddha told a long time ago about a turtle. So let's get ready to hear the story by sitting up tall, reaching our head toward the ceiling. Take a deep breath in and then breathe out and let your shoulders relax. Let your arms feel heavy, let your hands feel heavy. And now take another deep breath as you stretch tall toward the ceiling. And then breathe out completely as you relax your shoulders and arms and hands. And now a quick question. Who likes to talk more, you or your friends? So now we're ready to hear the story. It's called The Turtle Who Loved to Talk. There was once a king who had a very wise advisor who would help the king make important decisions. But the king was very talkative. Once he started talking, he wanted to go on and on talking. That meant that others couldn't say much because the king was too busy talking and wouldn't give them a chance. When they started talking, the king often didn't listen carefully and soon started talking about what he wanted to talk about. The king loved to make others laugh, so he often said funny things, and then others would laugh, so they seemed to like it. But then important work wouldn't get done, and people couldn't say what they wanted to say or needed to say, so many of the king's friends and ministers would get annoyed. The advisor often had very important information and advice to give the king, but he had to wait for the king to stop talking for a moment. It was frustrating for the advisor to wait when he had important work to do. He wanted to teach the king to control his excessive talking, so the advisor kept waiting for an opportunity. Meanwhile, in a pond at the base of the nearby mountains, there lived a turtle. And the turtle, like the king, loved to talk. Ever since he was a small young turtle, he would talk to other animals at times they wished he wouldn't talk. And he wouldn't notice when they didn't want him to talk. Like when they were thinking about something else. Or concentrating on something. He would interrupt them to talk when they were busy. He would keep them awake by speaking when they were trying to sleep. He would try to make them laugh when they were focusing on something important. And he'd have long conversations when they really wished he would find something else to do. And if anyone said anything he didn't like, he would always blurt out something in reply. One day, 2 young wild geese were searching for food, and the turtle greeted them and started a friendly conversation with them. The geese listened to his interesting stories and laughed at his funny comments, and after some time became close friends with him. But they noticed he had trouble controlling his mouth. He didn't seem to notice when they wanted to say something, or when they were getting tired of listening to him. So one day, one of the geese said to him, "Hey, turtle friend, we have a lovely home on that mountain there. It's in a golden cave. Will you come with us and see it?" The turtle said, "Well, you can fly up to the mountain, but how will I get there?" The goose said, "Oh, we can take you, if only you can keep your mouth shut and not say a word to anyone." The turtle said, "Well, yes, of course I can do that. Take me along, I'd love to go." So they made the turtle hold a long stick in his mouth, and they each took hold of one end of the stick in their beaks. And they sprang up and flew into the air, the 2 geese flying up and firmly holding the stick in their beaks, with the turtle hanging onto the stick with his mouth. Some children in the village saw them flying together and laughed and shouted, "Look, there are 2 geese carrying a turtle by a stick!" The turtle wanted to yell back at the children, "Well, so what if my friends carry me? What's it to you, you little monsters?" So he opened his mouth to yell out, "Well, so what?" But, when he opened his mouth, he wasn't holding on to the stick anymore. The geese flew on with the stick, but the turtle was falling down, 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 until he landed crashing down into the king's courtyard on the hard stone floor. The people in the king's palace came running up to the turtle and cried, "A turtle fell in the courtyard and he's all broken." The king and his advisor came out into the courtyard to see what happened, and then a whole crowd of people came up to see the injured turtle. The king wondered how a turtle could just suddenly fall from the sky into the courtyard. He asked his advisor, "Wise sir, what made this creature fall?" The advisor thought, "Now is my time. For a long time I've been wishing to teach the king to control his mouth, and I've been looking for an opportunity to do it." He knew what had happened to the turtle, that the turtle and geese became friendly. The geese must have intended to carry him to the Himalaya mountains by having him hold a stick in his mouth while they flew with the stick in their beaks. The turtle must have heard someone speak to him, and he wanted to reply, and not being able to keep his mouth closed, he let go of the stick, fell from the sky, and crashed here in the courtyard. He said to the king, "O dear king, they who have too much action with their mouth, that don't pay attention to their talking, they come to bad luck like this. The turtle felt he must speak when he held a stick to be carried in the air by some geese, so he let go of the stick and fell. And now, mighty king, notice, one must speak wisely and at the right time. The turtle fell to his death because he didn't think before he spoke." The king thought to himself, "He is speaking about me." So he asked, "Are you speaking about me?" The advisor replied, "Whether it is you, O great king, or another, whoever talks without control comes to some misery, some great unhappiness." The king thought about it, and from that day he spoke less and thought before he spoke, considering whether it's the right thing to say, the right time to say it, or whether it's better not to say anything. And that's the end of our story. So now I have some questions for you. Why were the people annoyed when the king talked too much? Remember, they couldn't get work done. They couldn't say what they wanted to say, right? And what were some other animals doing when the turtle wanted to talk? Remember, they were busy, or they were concentrating on something else, or they wanted to sleep, right? And did the turtle notice that they didn't want him to talk? No. And why do you think the king didn't notice that others didn't want him to talk so much? Well, maybe because sometimes he would say funny things and they would laugh. Maybe that's what made him think that they liked him to talk. What should the turtle have done so he wouldn't fall? He should have thought before he spoke, right? Okay, let's listen to some words of the Buddha. The Buddha said, "One is not wise because one speaks a lot. He who is peaceful, friendly, and fearless is called wise." So the Buddha is teaching us that just because a person talks a lot doesn't mean that he knows a lot. It's more important to be peaceful and friendly. When we love to talk, that doesn't mean that others love to hear us talk, or that they think we're wise or more intelligent. He advises that we should talk in a way that's peaceful and friendly to others. What does that mean? That means we take into consideration how they might feel. Are they enjoying the conversation? Not if we're talking at the wrong time or in a way that is annoying to them. So what do we mean by talking at the wrong time or in a way that's annoying to others? Well, let's see. Has anyone, maybe a teacher or parent, ever asked you to stop talking? Or to be more quiet? Has anyone ever said shh to you? Or looked at you with an irritated face because you were talking? Have you ever gotten scolded for talking when you were supposed to be quiet? Maybe you whispered or talked quietly during class when you were supposed to be silent and listen. Were you ever late for something because you were busy talking? Have you ever been the last one talking when the teacher's trying to start the class? These are examples of talking at the wrong time, of not being aware of the right time to talk and the right time to be quiet. And we've all experienced something like one of those examples before, even if we're normally a quiet person. Did you ever blurt out something without thinking first and then thought, ooh, I shouldn't have said that, like the turtle in the story? Or do you like to talk more and not listen as much, like the king in the story? We all like others to listen to us when we're talking, so we have to remember to be fair and give an equal chance to others to talk. Treating others how we like to be treated, that's being peaceful and friendly. So, what happens if we don't? If we talk when others don't want us to talk? Or if we wait until others stare at us or glare at us? At some point, others will think it's annoying and they may avoid us, or may even talk badly about us or say something insulting to us. So, what can we do to avoid that, to avoid talking at the wrong time or talking in a way that's annoying to others? It's all about awareness, noticing more what's happening around us. Notice when others are being quiet. That's often a signal that we should be quiet too. Be aware of when we are interrupting someone. Pay attention to others around us. Look at them when we speak. See, what is the expression on their face? What is it telling us? Do they need to say something? Do they need to concentrate on something? Are they bored with what we're saying? Do they look uncomfortable? Are they busy doing something? Do they need you to listen and not talk? How can you tell? Look at their body language and the expression on their face. Is he or she looking around a lot? Is he frowning? Is he sighing? Is he fidgeting? Or moving around while you're talking? Or interrupting you? If you pay attention to these things and know when to stop talking, then others are more willing to listen to you, and we can learn a lot more when we listen more. What if you have a friend or a classmate or a brother or sister who talks at the wrong time or talks in a way that's annoying to others? Can you help them? Yes, you can. Just like the advisor helped the king in the story, you use kind words and speak gently. For example, you can say, "How about if you tell me later? Let's do our work first." You can smile kindly while you put your finger at your lips to signal your friend not to talk now. Or talk to him as you would like others to talk to you when you make a mistake. So that's all for now. Let's wish that all beings in all the worlds be peaceful and happy.